Alright boys, welcome back to a segment I've completely stolen from Johnny Superbman or 2BC Productions. We're gonna talk about the LAINE-DUBOIS trade and the Laine benching today. So yeah, let's get right into it. It's a shootout commentary. Beforehand, I'm really sorry about this. It turns out I'm really shitty at shootouts, so you're not gonna see any fancy deeks or anything like that. So if you want to see some deeks, yeah, just turn this video off. It's not gonna be worth the watching. But yeah, the LAINE-DUBOIS trade. First of all, who won this trade? I think both came out looking good, even better. But I would say Columbus won the trade simply because Columbus was the one who needed this trade more. Laine was performing good in Winnipeg. According to all reports, he was performing good. And yeah, in Columbus, you had a player who just didn't want to be there. Clear and easy. He showed it clearly. He didn't want to be there. So Columbus needed to get rid of him. And his value was going down each and every day. And somehow Columbus managed not only to get a player of maybe an even higher value. It's arguable because of the contract situation. Laine is at his last year, I think, of his contract, and Dubois still has one left. So in that case, it is arguable that they're around the same value. But Laine, definitely for me, he's a more he's a higher rated player. He's a really good goal scorer, and Dubois he's a really good centerman. But for me, it's even questionable if he's the number one guy. For me, it has been described as like a 1B kind of guy, a good first centerman, but needs kind of that help around him, needs another good centerman, which he has in Scheifele, to be fair. And Columbus still managed to squeeze out Roslovic from the trade as well, a player that Winnipeg pretty much had given up on, but he has been outstanding since coming to Columbus. He has been really good, hometown boy. It looks like a really good story. So I'm really happy for Roslovic. But yeah, if we go to the big player situations, we keep Roslovic out of this one. If we go to the big player situations, Laine pretty much indicated in the summer he wanted to leave. He didn't get his wish then, and a lot of Winnipeg fans, I've seen the conversations about this trade go like, why did we trade away Laine? Like, he's such a good player, and the other guy didn't even want to be there, and we traded away our superstar. Well, Laine didn't want to be there. Like, he clearly showed that, well, he didn't show, but he pretty much stated he wanted out, and he did so whilst playing good. On the other hand, you had Pierre-Luc Dubois, who's clearly showed that he didn't want to be there, and he played unbelievably bad in the last game. He had the famous shift where he didn't even go for pucks or anything. So you had one who fought to the last bit, and one who pretty much gave up and showed like, yeah, I don't want to be here. But yeah, in Laine, the question a lot of people asked when he came to Columbus is, okay, so you have Dubois who's well, he didn't state that he got into a fight with Tortorella. He actually denied it, but a lot of people went like, okay, so the problem is Tort's really hard and harsh kind of army mentality, like we die together on the field. And how is that gonna work on Laine? Well, he got benched in the last game, so that's a big question. Like, what is gonna happen next for Laine? I don't think as a if as a Columbus fan, you have to be worried yet. But if this keeps going, earlier in the career of Laine, it has been really forgotten about how he was suspended from the Finnish national team for a couple of years when he was a youngster, for flipping off his coach and threatening to kill the coach after not being put on the ice. It was a really big deal here in Finland, and yeah, it got forgotten really quick, and now he's one of the media babes here in Finland. No one really dares to touch him or speak badly of him. So yeah. On the other hand, Dubois, how is he gonna fare? What was the reason he wanted out? Was it that he didn't like Columbus? Well, nothing against Winnipeg, but that's not gonna be a really lucrative city to play for either. So yeah, for me, both of the problems, like for Laine, for instance, his problem was let's go back to Laine for a minute. One, he really wanted to play with a good centerman, and there was a huge debacle about him not being able to play with Scheifele because Scheifele was put together with Wheeler. They were a package deal, and Laine had to play with players like Stastny or Brian Little. But then on the other hand, not on the other hand, but if you look at his situation in Columbus, who is he playing with there? Max Domi, yeah, he's a decent player. Is he a lot better than Brian Little? I don't think so. I don't see it personally. So yeah, but at the same time, I think Domi could be more of Laine's cup of tea, younger guy. But yeah, so the center issue hasn't been solved. Is Columbus gonna go out and get a centerman for Laine? They already have a really tight-knit group, that army mentality that I talked about, dying for each other. How's that gonna work? You're gonna have one line who isn't affected by this mentality. Are you gonna give up Tortorella? Because I don't think Torts is gonna give up on his mentality anytime soon. So that's kind of an issue in Columbus. And the other thing is Laine gonna sign long term? If he didn't like Winnipeg, again, if the problem is the city, Columbus isn't magically gonna make those problems gonna disappear. So there's for sure some issues still lingering in the Laine part of things. And then when you go back to Winnipeg, Winnipeg have issues with not having any defenders pretty much on the team, and also it has surfaced some reports on problems with Scheifele and Wheeler and their effect on the group and kind of the team mentality or status or whatever you could call it they've inflicted on the group. Laine was reported not to be happy in the team, and you're gonna have to ask yourself, is the issue staying? Did Laine leaving fix that thing, or is it gonna be an issue with Ehlers, who was a really good friend with Laine? You still have these youngsters, these superstar kinds of players. If you have a team code of no superstars allowed, is that going to hurt the team? You clearly have really divided locker room. Bufflin didn't want to come back. That's apparently a problem with the medical staff. But yeah, that was an issue. You had the Evander Kane issues when he was in Winnipeg. The famous jogging suit or what should we call it? Yeah, jogging suit incident where Bufflin threw the jogging suit in the showers, and Kane decided, okay, this is the last straw, I want to leave. So you have a lot of issues still in that team lingering. like, are you gonna trade one of these forwards for a defender? Is it gonna be Ehlers? Are you gonna flip Dubois? Are you gonna give up on like Wheeler or Scheifele, or are those thought to be your guys? Are you gonna go forward with this group of Scheifele and Wheeler? Do you state these are my guys? I'm gonna ride or die with them. That's kind of my thing with Winnipeg. What do you think? Like, does Dubois really solve anything? Is he gonna be an instant fit? I don't know. I don't think so. So yeah, and then again, Winnipeg, like, is Laine gonna sign? If so, for how much? What is the number? How do you solve the centerman issue? Like, who do you get in? How do you change the team? Is Tortorella's time over? Do you trade away one of your defenders? Like, you have Werenski, you have Jones, and you have Murray. So you have a lot of like good defenders. Should you get rid of one of those? You also have two very good goalkeepers in Korpisalo, Korpisalo, his name is, yeah, and Elvis. Like, what is happening in that team? So yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to find out if Laine is gonna get flipped again. I don't think, like, a lot of people are like panicking, like, that's a huge issue. You gave up Dubois for a guy who's not even gonna be part of your team. But I think if they flip Laine, like, he's probably gonna have a relatively good season, I feel like, especially when their power play clearly plays through him as a player. So yeah, I think he's gonna have a good season, and he's a restricted free agent. So I don't know. I think they can still squeeze a lot out of him. And like I said, you can't forget Roslovic was a part of that trade. So those are kind of my thoughts on the subject. I don't think you have to press the panic button in Columbus yet. I think Laine could come back, but if you'll see like his ice time being really low in the next like 5 to 10 games, then I'm gonna assume we're gonna look at either Torts or Laine leaving at that point, and I think it's gonna be Laine. But yeah, I think good trade for both teams. Tell me, what do you think? Leave a comment down below. Leave a like. Leave some hate for me stealing this content from Johnny. And I'll see you in the next one. See you. Bye.